Hello, everybody. In our parsha, we have the well-known incident where Am Yisrael complained for lack of water. God tells Moshe to speak to the rock. There are many midrashim on exactly what happened, filling in details that were not included explicitly in the Torah itself. And Moshe eventually hits the rock and water comes forth. For this, Moshe is punished, and he is told that Yan lo hemantem bi lahakti sheni, since you failed to provide the ultimate Kiddush Hashem for me, when you struck the rock instead of speaking to the rock to provide water, therefore you will not merit to lead Am Yisrael into Eretz Yisrael. This is all fine and good. What does it mean, Yan asher lo hemantem bi lahakti sheni? So the traditional understanding is that it would have been a phenomenal miracle if by merely speaking to the rock, water would have come forth to quench the thirst of Am Yisrael. But for this, Moshe is denied entry into Eretz Yisrael. After all, even the water coming out by striking the rock, that's a pretty big miracle in and of itself. But the Meshech Chachma gives us perhaps a totally different understanding. He says as follows: we know the Medrash at Matan Torah B'Sinai, based on the psukim in the Torah itself, V'chol ha'am ro'im et hakolot. The Medrash understands this literally, in a way that our sensual experience doesn't allow us to understand this fully. The people were able to see the sounds that accompanied Matan Torah B'Sinai. V'chol ha'am ro'im, they saw the kolot. Here too, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in commanding Am Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu, to speak to the rock, Daber v'dibartem el hasela le'eineihem. Why does it say le'eineihem? It should say bifneihem. Before, in the presence of Am Yisrael, speak to the rock. But it says speak to the rock within their eyesight. Because, says the Meshech Chachma, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to do, in miniature, if you will, a reenactment of Matan Torah B'Sinai. If Matan Torah B'Sinai occurs shortly after they leave Eretz Mitzrayim, he wanted to do a similar miracle just prior to their entry into Eretz Yisrael. And therefore, he wanted it to be le'eineihem, that their eyes should perceive Moshe speaking to the rock. V'chol ha'am ro'im et hakolot. They would see that which is ordinarily auditory, merely heard, to resemble Matan Torah B'Sinai. Therefore, when Moshe wound up striking the rock instead of speaking to it, that opportunity was lost. And it was a tremendous opportunity because besides being miraculous, it also had a tremendous Musar lesson for Am Yisrael. If a rock, an inanimate rock, can be influenced by what God has to say, or by what God's messengers have to say, then al achat kama v'kama, what kind of an influence should the word of Hashem, or that of his great prophet Moshe, what kind of an influence should that have had on Am Yisrael to prevent their many challenges to Hashem throughout their desert travels? And that opportunity was sadly lost. Ya'an lo ha'emantem bi lahakti sheni le'einei b'nei Yisrael. There was an opportunity to create tremendous Kiddush Hashem with the eyes of Am Yisrael, who would have seen the speech of Moshe to the rock that would have solidified their emunah as they are on the precipice of entering Eretz Yisrael in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and in his chosen prophets. Shabbat Shalom.